House Never Slumbers here. What we are doing today and everything is whitening up a skull for a European mount that Champa was blessed to harvest just a little over a week ago. So what we do and everything is what he's done first is we just use electrical tape. You tape up the antlers, the bases and everything, so that way you don't get those all white and it's not really bleach. You know, we don't want to say bleach because bleach actually brittles your skull and bones and everything and harms the bones. So we just want to tape that up so it doesn't whiten that real bad and everything. So what we got and everything is a nice tub. You'll want a tub to put this in to keep it in because we leave it in there for about 24 hours before we wash it off. You got some good quick white and everything. You can get this at Sally Beauty Supply, probably on Amazon, any of those places.
I'll link it in the description if I can find it on Amazon.
But yeah, it's just quick white to help, you know, when they're whitening hairs, you know, and everything like that.
Yeah,
so
it's
just
a hair
your
bleaching product.
beauty supply, and then 40 volume peroxide cream. It's not full peroxide and everything. It's more of a pasty thing, not just liquid peroxide and stuff. And what we do is we mix these two together. So first, I'll let Champ actually do this since he's got the gloves on.
You're like a home chemist here.
How much?
You just pour a little bit in there. I'll tell you, just get it out,
working with
pour some in.
chemicals. Make sure you have gloves
It's kinda
because
strong.
these are very harsh chemicals.
So you want to cover the bottom at least and everything with it.
It's very pasty.
All right, so he's poured about that in. And then a lot of times what I do and everything then is this comes with a scooper. And I add 3 scoops of this to this. It just seems to work the best to get nice and bright and white. So he'll get that out. Add 3 full scoops of that powder there.
That smells nasty.
This stuff does not smell the best, so you kind of do want a ventilated area and everything, or not get it real bad. So
I mean, we're doing this here with an open flame over in the wood stove, so this is probably not something you should do at home. Don't do what we're doing.
but
Be safer than we are.
yeah. So then what you do, you just mix it together, forming a good paste. It's fine. You just form a nice good paste and everything out of it when you mix it together.
You probably want to protect your surface if you care about it, but this is an old table that was upstairs when we moved down here, so we aren't too worried about the table. This is our winter wonderland in our basement. It's really messy. There's lots of hoarding going on down here.
So he gets a good paste and everything done with it.
Tell us how you got the skull to this point.
Well, what we do, we boiled it. It took what, probably about 4 hours?
3.
3 hours or so to boil the skin off. He peeled off the hide and everything. Then you boil it to get the rest of the meat off and stuff. And you sit there and just kind of use a knife and
Tell us, what
everything,
did you boil
scraping it off. And actually, what we used and stuff was we got it from Bass Pro Shops, but you can get them from Amazon and everything else.
I'll
but
link that in the description as well if I can find it.
It's mainly just a turkey fryer, you know, and stuff. What they use, the deep fry, you know, the turkeys and stuff for Thanksgiving. So yep, that's perfectly fine.
It's a propane.
Yep, use propane.
Like
and
a burner with a really big stock pot.
Yep. So what he wants to do is he's just going to paste that on there, nice and thick. You want a good coating everywhere. So the thicker you put it on there, the better. It'll puff up actually over time and cover it. But you want to give a good dose and get quite a bit of it on everywhere. It takes a little while here if you get all the spots. Sometimes it's good to grab an antler and just get it wherever you want.
Do some tooth whitening right there on those teeth.
No, I'm not putting it on the
Phone's real thick.
I'm not going to have enough.
Yeah, you will. It's just getting on there nice and thick. We found this to do this at home. I actually had someone do it once, and they did a great job, but it's $130 cost is what the taxidermist charged me and everything to get it done with a nice pedestal and stuff. And honestly, when you buy this, I've had this stuff now for probably 10 years and done. Oh, we've had this stuff for 10 years.
Maybe 8.
Okay, but anyway, but we still have plenty and can keep using it and stuff to do, and it costs maybe 50 cents to $1 each time you do one now. So he's just trying to get it on as much. It's all right. It happens. It just takes a while. You just get it covered real good. The hardest part's getting most of the meat off and everything. Unfortunately, it's just there's always going to be some left over.
What do you use to get the meat off? Do you use a knife?
Knife, wire brush.
Okay.
As much as we can do.
So you do that before or after the boiling?
During the boiling.
Okay.
It's like
So
we take
you
it out
lift it
every so
out.
often and get more of it off there. And stuff. Like I said, it's kind of a long process. You don't want to overboil because some of these brittle bones and everything, it'll take the membrane gone and you'll lose. Like a lot of the bones will just fall off
So
or just get real thin.
You don't want to get the marrow out of the bones, right?
Well,
Like
I
if
think
you
it gets
boil
some of the
too
marrow
long,
out.
yeah.
But you don't want to overboil it because most of a skull is just held together by cartilage and membranes too. So if you overboil those, there'll be nothing really holding it together and it just starts to fall apart. So you don't want to do that if you can help it. So there's a little bit of still membraney stuff and meat on here in spots, but this stuff will even whiten that and take care of any smells or anything too. So just trying to get it real good everywhere you go. Sometimes, depending on how white you want to get this, you can do it. I usually let it go for 24 hours. Then if it's not white enough, we just do the same process again until we get it as white as we want to get it.
Look over again. This one.
I'm going to pause and go look at some of the finished
Yep.
products in the other
Don't do
room.
the very middle one.
This is the one that we actually had the taxidermist do. Did a very good job. That thing is now 9 years old, I believe, and everything. So, I mean, it's a really good job. It's held up. It's lost some of its whiteness just because, like I said, some of the oils and stuff do work theirself back out. So over time, you can just do it again and everything. But it looks real good. Did a good job. This is the one that I just got this year and actually just did this over the weekend and got it white and everything. So actually looking now, there's still some spots that have a little bit of yellow come back out. I'll probably touch it back up. But this is what that stuff does to it. It just really brightens it up. It doesn't brittle it really too bad as long as you don't overboil. But I just think it looks really neat. And it's a lot cheaper than going those routes. Love the shoulder mount. They look great, but not always an extra $300-400 laying around to pay for those. So then another thing we do, we actually have a video up already on the website
There's
and
a
stuff
blog post and a video.
of how we can dip your skulls and stuff. And all this is just basic spray paint that we picked up at Walmart.
Enamel spray paint.
Yeah, it has to be enamel and just a tub full of cold water. And everything. You just spray it how you want. You can dip the skull in. So I whitened them, and then we decided to try to do this, and we've got some different colors. There's a mixed one. I got one over on that wall that's kind of more camouflaged.
Kind of camo.
And then we got our all-American ones looking over here in the red, white, and blues and everything. So
There's a pink and gold one somewhere?
pink and gold up in Honors Room. Glory has a teal and purple colored one. Champ has some different colored ones and everything. But we just really I like the white, especially on the bigger deer and everything. It just kind of brings it out and makes it look good.
Okay, we're just finishing up here with the peroxide mixture.
Just getting it, like I said, getting it really covered well. This stuff's actually kind of neat. By tomorrow morning and everything, it'll be puffed up and really cover even more and everything. And then we'll check it tomorrow night. And really what's awesome and stuff is all you got to do is just wash it off with water. So you just take we take our sprayer in the sink, washes it straight off, and it's completely done.
And he did get some on the antlers earlier, and
Yep.
he just took a wet washcloth and wiped that off.
But this is exactly why you want to tape
Yeah.
up and everything, because you don't want to bleach these antlers
And
out.
he got inside of there.
Yep,
Get all
up
of that
inside,
coated.
trying to get all this on the bottom and
Nasty
everything.
teeth.
Trying to get most of that stuff just made nice and white.
And we'll check back in on the progress tomorrow.
So here we are, day 2. It's been about 24 hours of Champ's deer skull and everything. As you can see, the peroxide solution actually puffs up pretty good, covers it really, really well, and everything to get it nice and white. So all you got to do is just get running water.
Is that warm water or hot water?
It doesn't matter. It'll actually just spray right on off. And you just want to get it sprayed off real good, go through everywhere, getting all the nooks and crannies. You can actually get a rag or brush or whatever to get in there more if you need to, but you just get it sprayed off real well.
She's going to use the rag that she uses on the dishes.
Oh, why not? It's bleaching it, it just makes it whiter and clean. But you can see as he's getting off there, it's way more white than it was yesterday when we got started. And everything. Still got a little bit of stuff I need to get in there to clean out. Meat-wise, not whiteness, but...
Where'd the dog go? The dog is wearing a Christmas sweater.
There's Bosco.
See the dog. Don't look at all the mess on the floor right there. There's the dog. There's the Christmas tree.
So here we go. There's the dog. Here it is, all kind of done. He got it nice and cleaned off, pretty white. If it's not as white as you like it, if he wants more, he can go back on, paint a little bit more peroxide on. There's a little spots down through here, didn't get as white as the others, and stuff like that. But if not, if you're happy with it, you just take the tape off, and you are all set. But what's real nice is when you boil and don't overdo and use this, these bones get really, really brittle if you bleach or do anything like that. Well, they're still nice and solid and everything doing it this way. So, actually, we may be able to do another video. I was blessed to get drawn at a state park hunt and got a 10-pointer and stuff today that if we want, we might be doing the video on boiling it and what we all do to get the meat out and off of it. So that should be all. Hopefully this helps everybody out there. From the house that never slumbers. Champ don't want to be in the picture,
if
but
you're doing any work on butchering animals or preserving animals, this sink is like the best thing ever. You need one of these double utility tubs
sinks,
because they are like amazing. You don't want to be upstairs in a small sink.
Like
the sink is awesome.
Yep.
And I'm going to link that if I can find it too.
Yep, absolutely. So, house that never slumbers.
We'll see you next time on the House That Never Slumbers. Stop. Sit.
You good with it then?
There's the dog's sweater. She wants you to see the whole dog's sweater. Sit. Sit.
Right.
Merry and bright. He sort of looks ashamed to be in that.
He's a good boy.
He likes it. I tried to